Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Jessie Lipicki, and this is April Emanuelson and Natalie Harris. We're so excited that you're here to learn how to make elderberry, and we're going to talk about some simple solutions as well that make a huge difference for your health. So, just a show of hands, or you can put it in the chat too. Has anybody here made elderberry before, or bought it, or used an elderberry supplement? Anything?
I've used elderberry supplements and I've gotten the syrup, but I'm really excited to learn how to make it.
Yay. Okay, cool. So I have made it like once or twice before. I've never taught it, so this is going to be fun. And we'll go over the recipe here shortly. So and I'm going to show you guys really quick before I jump into the benefits. Like I already started my elderberry on the stove, so you can see it. Don't look at the mess, but you can see it's just sitting here. It had boiled, and now it's just sitting and simmering. So you can kind of see it there, right? Okay, so that's what we got going on. It'll sit there for the remainder of the event for about 40-45 minutes. So really quick, I'll just talk about elderberry. So elderberry we all know, is so incredible with health benefits. It can tame inflammation, it can lessen stress and help protect our heart as well. And some experts even recommend elderberry to help prevent and ease cold and flu symptoms, which that's really what I know it as, right? If I'm fighting something, I'm going to be taking my elderberry, right? Or drinking it. Lately, I've gotten it from the farmer's market, but I'm excited to start making it again. And I will say, so ripe berries, ripe berries should always be cooked before consumption. Okay. Hey, Sammy. We have two Sammys on here now. So because of the big benefits of elderberry syrup and its immune health properties, we're actually going to share just a quick 2-minute video with you guys. This is going to be kind of the simple solution that we're going to talk about throughout our talk. We're going to talk about elderberry, but we're also going to share a simple solution, like I said. So my story, like I said, my name's Jessie Lipicki. 5 years ago, I was an obstacle course racing athlete and I had a lot of oxidative stress. I looked fit and healthy, but I wasn't. I was tired and I was getting sick a lot. I had a lot of aches and pains for being in my early 30s. And we just thought it was normal, but it wasn't. And then I learned this information and it just made a huge difference in my life. So we're really excited to share more with you. So I'm gonna just see, I'll pull this up and share my screen. It's just a 2-minute video here. And okay, can y'all see that?
Today, I'm going to share the results of several clinical studies showing how the added nutrition of Juice Plus fruit and vegetable capsules can help support your immune system. The immune system is very important to staying healthy because it protects your body against external invaders, unhealthy substances such as toxins, and stimuli such as irradiation or psychological stress. In short, it enables your body to distinguish between what is healthy and what is unhealthy and to respond appropriately. There are several things we can do to strengthen our immune system, including getting enough sleep, regular exercise, reducing stress, and drinking plenty of water. But good nutrition is especially important in maintaining a healthy immune system. There is overwhelming scientific evidence that plant-based nutrition from fruits and vegetables helps support the human immune system. And there are 4 published peer-reviewed clinical studies showing specifically the effect of added nutrition from Juice Plus fruit and vegetable capsules on the immune system. These 4 studies were conducted at 4 different research institutions: Charité University Medical Center in Berlin, Germany, the Medical University of Graz in Austria, and the University of Florida and the University of Arizona in the United States. And they were conducted on 4 different types of subjects: healthcare professionals in a hospital setting, athletic men in a special police unit, young law school students, and older people. For example, A 6-month study at Charité University Medical Center in Berlin showed that Juice Plus fruit and vegetable capsules better supported the immune system in healthcare professionals at Charité Hospital compared to placebo. This study was published in the British Journal of Nutrition in 2010. In a 28-week study at the Medical University of Graz in Austria, Juice Plus fruit, vegetable, and berry plant capsules better supported several indicators of immune function compared to placebo in physically fit men who were members of a special police unit. The Graz study was published in the prestigious Journal of Nutrition in 2007. In an 11-week clinical study conducted at the University of Florida, researchers found that Juice Plus fruit and vegetable capsules increased antioxidant capacity versus placebo, as well as strengthened immune function compared to placebo in healthy but stressed Florida law school students. This study was also published in the Journal of Nutrition in 2006. Finally, in an 80-day controlled clinical study conducted among older subjects from age 60 to 86, researchers at the University of Arizona found both improved markers of immune function and increased blood levels of important antioxidants in the elderly subjects taking Juice Plus fruit and vegetable capsules. This study appeared in the journal Integrative Medicine in 1999. That latter point about antioxidants is especially important because maintaining a healthy immune system can also be related to antioxidant status. Juice Plus fruit and vegetable capsules have been clinically proven in 21 separate published peer-reviewed studies to significantly increase blood levels of important antioxidants and other plant nutrients in as little as 28 days. To summarize, the human immune system is our frontline defense against external invaders, unhealthy substances, and other stimuli. And there is broad scientific evidence that plant-based nutrition from fruits and vegetables helps support the immune system. There is specific scientific evidence from more than 20 years of clinical research on Juice Plus and from 4 published peer-reviewed clinical studies that the added nutrition of Juice Plus fruit and vegetable capsules helps support the immune system.
Yay, I love that video so much. Okay, so let me make sure I stopped it. I don't think I stopped the video. Where is it? Okay,
I know you're going to share more of your story, Jesse, which I love so much, but I also love that Juice Plus has elderberry in it. So it's kind of, we're going to expand on elderberry today, but with Juice Plus, you're getting 30 different fruits, veggies, and berries that work in synergy like that. So going into the cold and flu season, it's nice to have tools for your immune system. So go ahead, share the rest of your
No,
story.
you go ahead, April. I actually lost my page. I closed it out. So you share your story now
Well,
while I find it.
I love how, well, I love from your story that when you started eating more fruits and vegetables, that you were able to reverse your PCOS. You know, there's a lot more to your story that you haven't shared, but that's really is the power of plants. So my story was that in general, I never felt like as well as my friends. But I just thought, well, that's my lot in life, whatever. But when I was pregnant, it was really, really miserable. I was basically flat out for 9 months. I had extreme morning sickness. And when my son was born, he had all of the things that I did and then some. He also had eczema. He was super colicky. He would just cry for hours and hours every day. And it's like you actually inherit your parents' microbiome. So he inherited mine. And typically with each generation, if there's a lot of dysbiosis, so more bad bacteria than good, your immune system is really overactive. So he had the eczema, he had food allergies, there was a lot going on. So I actually flew him to a specialist. I was terrified one day when he had stopped making eye contact, but one day I came into the living room when he was about 1 and he was just sitting there hitting his head against the wall. And I was like, autism, like, is he even going to be functional? Like I was that crazy mom. I Googled a specialist. She had her naturopathic degree, her MD, and her PhD in physical chemistry. So I paid a lot of money, got all these specialized tests. And she shared Juice Plus with us. She said, yes, his immune system is struggling. Yes, he's got high heavy metals. Yes, all of these things, but he's one. What can we do to like help his immune system calm down? What can we do to detox his body safely? And the only thing that she knew about was this product, Juice Plus. And honestly, it made sense. She had 3 doctorates. I opened the capsules into his baby food. Within 2 months, he started making eye contact. He started reaching for foods he never would have touched. And I get goosebumps still today, like thinking about what his life could have been like if we hadn't learned about this. So that's why we are really, moms on a mission on this call to share. But then also, things that you can do at home. You can order elderberry. You can, like we're going to teach you today. Um, the For me, let me see. Another thing to know, and it's not to like scare everybody, but my story wasn't the only story out there, right? We have statistics right now. 1 in 4 will die of heart disease, 1 in 3 will have cancer, 1 in 3 will have diabetes, and 1 in 5 children is obese. And sadly, this is the first generation of kids that's not expected to outlive their parents. That's not okay. Like we have so many medical advancements. Why is that happening? Well, we know our environment's getting more toxic. We know our stress levels are off the hook. And if we don't kind of take back our own health, that could be our story. But the cool part is we can change our story completely. These are all diet and lifestyle. So for us, like being able to share this education and give hope is so important. So I'm going to go into where am I? Um, you already talked about the benefits of elderberry.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I can
And
share
then,
an image too. Do you want me to show the image now? And do you want to talk about the image, April?
sure. Yeah.
Okay, here, let me share it. Can y'all see that? Okay, I love this image. Okay.
Oh, now I can't see it. Where did I put it?
Uh-oh.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So, you talk about this one because you have more of the understanding of this image, and then
Yeah, I love this image because it really I love that it shows like the price difference, right? A lot of people have gone to the store or ordered it online. Or for me, I get at the farmer's market, it's like $60 for a jar of elderberry syrup. But what savings we get with our Juice Plus berry capsules. So not only is there a cost savings, it's only the $27 versus this one, for example, was 30 for,
Mhm.
well, wow, I didn't even read that actually. It's $30 for just 6 days worth, but the Juice Plus capsules, it's 27 for 30 days. And not only does the one from the grocery store only have the one thing, it has elderberry, but our Juice Plus, obviously, it has 10 different berries. It has all of the different superfoods, raspberry, bilberry, cranberry, pomegranate, Concord grape, black currant, uh, artichoke, elderberry, and it's all the things like bilberry and elderberry and black currant. Like I don't even know what those are. I don't even know where to find them. So, but I love that I get them every day in my juice pods because I know it does benefit us. So, and no sugar. So I love this image. It just shows like most people are probably overpaying and not even getting the full value of what we're getting through Juice Plus. So, um,
And I love that we're going to be able to learn how to make it ourselves. A lot of that's the cost of purchasing it in a bottle from a store, right?
yeah.
And this is also something that you're going to be using in like an acute sickness situation where it's a lot more than the little bit that you get every day through our Juice Plus capsules that creates that immune resistance and being able to shorten, for us, we just had a cold. We still get sick, but it's like we call it the Juice Plus cold now. It's like you don't outwardly look sick, you don't have to skip life necessarily. And it's, a few days, it's not a big deal.
I was
So
talking
that's
about that
what,
the other day too. I've noticed like colds back in the day used to be so much more worse
yeah,
for us.
you're
Like we
on
would
you're on
be
the couch all day
bedridden.
with Netflix.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to go anywhere. But
You
now
guys
it's like
don't miss
just
that.
a little sniffle. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we are going to go into the benefits specifically of what this recipe is. I'm supposed to actually talk about clove. And clove is a unique herb. I actually learned some things within this that I'm super excited about. I'm like, I gotta get clove back in my life. So we use the dried bud and the pink flower across the world for flavors to our food. But it is also packed with omega-3 fatty acids, fiber, rich in minerals, especially magnesium and vitamins. So I would love to hear in the chat, or you can raise your hand, how many people are taking an omega supplement. And I know a lot of people that are typically doing like fish oil in a capsule. One thing that, or they're doing maybe ground flaxseed. One thing to know that anytime you put heat on an omega, it starts to denature it. So you want to have it, like in terms of flaxseed, if you're going to grind flaxseed, you want to store it in the freezer right away. Don't buy the ground flaxseed. If you have it in a fish oil capsule, that capsule's heated. And if you've ever bitten into one, I actually did this, I don't suggest it. It's very rancid tasting because it's been heated. So I love Juice Plus actually makes a cold fused omega that has actually a little nitrogen bubble in it to keep the omega from being exposed to air, which is the other thing that you don't want omegas exposed to. But in the whole plant, it's more, it's like with the flaxseed, right? It's protected by the shell. So nature is very wise. Okay. And then do we have anybody in the chat that said anything? Okay. I
I
saw the
love
hand.
that what I learned about omegas. I think about, I'm like pointing to my forehead. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
we think about like the brain. I talk about this in sourdough. It's like we have like little parking stalls in the brain, and omegas and plants, phytonutrients, antioxidants are what help get the nutrients into the parking stall and the toxins out. So if you're not taking an omega, you should be. And I love
Mhm.
what you told me. Like if you're
Well,
going to do the fish, make sure you're doing the liquid. But ew.
yeah, liquid and cold. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I love that you say that too, because healthy omegas can push out things like biotoxins. We've gone into that. You can actually push out toxins from the brain with kind of getting an oil change, if you will,
I
instead of
like that
saturated fats or trans fats, those
oil
those
change.
those nice healthy fats. Okay. And then magnesium, I am a geek about magnesium because there's 700 functions in the body that magnesium helps with. So if you're magnesium deficient, which most people are, we tend to burn through magnesium in stress, then there's 700 functions in the body that aren't optimized. And one of the first things I notice when I'm magnesium deficient is I'll get a little twitch or my eye will twitch. That is actually a sign of low magnesium. So I love that clove is rich in magnesium. Okay, some of the other minerals found in cloves are iron, phosphorus, potassium, sodium, zinc, and calcium. And the vitamins in clove are thiamine, riboflavin, vitamin C, niacin, folate, B6, vitamin B12, vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin K, and D. Very exciting.
Wow.
Um, okay, so my focus on folate in particular is actually I could nerd out here for a second. I'll try not to.
No, please do. We love it when you nerd
If
out, April. We learn
maybe
so much from you.
I won't ask you to be vulnerable and raise your hand, but if you experience any anxiety or depression, typically that relates to a folate deficiency. If you've ever heard of the MTHFR gene mutation, again, that's a little bit geeky. That those people that have that gene mutation, and they kind of theorize that 85% of the population actually does, and this is why anxiety is such a common thing. When you're eating packaged foods, folic acid sits on that folate receptor site, blocking the ability for your body to absorb the natural folate from greens and in what you're eating. And then when you have this MTHFR gene mutation in particular, this is what happens. And then your body can't process that folate into the methylfolate, which helps you with detox. So then you kind of get this rising toxic load. People will experience headaches, also more anxiety, more depression. So folate's super important, but also know that if you're eating packaged foods, kind of look for folic acid. That's the lab-made version that interrupts your ability to absorb folate. So folate-rich foods are so amazing for detox, for anxiety, for mood, for cancer, for helping so many different things. And then there's antimicrobial aspects of clove, which are incredible. They fight against bacteria. Moreover, cloves are actually known to carry strong antibacterial properties that are a proponent to killing human pathogens. So that's exciting. It's also anti-inflammatory and it's hepatoprotective. That was a new word for me. I was like, I love it. So these properties in clove aid in digestion, protect the liver, improve toothaches and oral diseases. A lot of people will put clove oil on a toothache. Cloves are listed as an ingredient in over 99% of toothpaste. Cloves are highly recommended in ancient Ayurvedic medicinal practices for gum disease and periodontitis or gingivitis. Cloves aid in controlling lung cancer in the early stages. Thought that was really interesting. They help preserve bones. Bad breath can be cured by clove buds daily. The bud releases natural enzymes that kill the bacteria in the mouth that cause bad breath. Clove can be consumed as a powder or a whole bud. You can just eat I actually make like hot toddies with lemon and honey and clove and a little bit of cinnamon. So you can simply soak them in water for about 10 minutes before adding them to your food. And then cloves provide that wonderful spice taste, right? And they help treat morning sickness. I wish I had known that when I was super morning sick with my son. And I will say that was partly due to a toxic load. I didn't know about Juice Plus, obviously, when I was pregnant with him. The pregnancy with my second two pregnancies were night and day difference. Like amazing, such a gift. Also prevents
So,
hair loss.
sorry, one question. I liked that comment. So if you have those pregnancy symptoms when you're nauseous, that is a sign that you have a toxic load for, is that
It
across the
can be a sign of a toxic load issue. Yeah.
Wow.
Can
Wow.
be other things, hormonal. There's a lot of different things that it can be, but for me in particular, it was that. And I suffered from horrible migraines. There was a lot going on that I didn't really understand as a toxic load issue until that toxic load wasn't there after I took Juice Plus for 4 years before I had my next baby. Um, and then migraines for me were gone within a few months of taking Juice Plus. There's other things that you can do if you really suffer from migraines to make sure that that's I know Sammy is on here, has had a lot of migraines. So anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. But just wrapping up cloves. So believe it or not, clove when added to food during respiratory congestion can actually help you kick the infection or stave off an infection. So one of the many health benefits of clove is that it works as an excellent expectorant, so it won't allow that mucus to settle into the bronchi or into the lungs. It loosens the mucus and allows you to cough it out easily. Its antimicrobial properties kill the pathogen that can lead to throat infections and congestion in the chest. More
Love it.
clove for you, Jessie. She was to say, my throat hurts.
Yes.
I was inspired. I'm gonna make this syrup and do it daily, but also just break out my cloves again.
Oh, I love it. Thank you for sharing that, April. Yeah, I put a little extra today and they hold it.
You're like, oh, love it. Natalie, I know you're next on cinnamon with that. Sweet baby.
Oh, we want to hear your story too, Natalie. I'll share mine later when I do
Yes.
the honey. Yeah.
Well, good morning, everybody. So this is baby boy Jesse. So we have two Sammys and two Jessies on this call. He is my third baby, and I think my biggest anecdote, I guess you could say, because I have also eaten Juice Plus for 2.5 years, has to do with this little guy in my pregnancies. April, like you were alluding to, how people can have, whether it's anxiety or depression or other things like that. I have not personally experienced any postpartum depression or anything like that. But I wouldn't be surprised, in correlation to what you're saying, if nutrition also plays a role in that as well. For me, I didn't experience that, but with this guy being my third baby, I feel like we are 3.5 months postpartum now with him. I feel like I've had the most energy and the most like mental clarity of the three kids. So with the other two, in first trimester, I was just dragging and I was so tired, like it's typical in first trimester. But with him, even with chasing around two toddlers who were 3 and under, I felt like my energy was a lot better first trimester. And then I feel like I've just had an amazing recovery postpartum this go around also. And so that's kind of my biggest personal anecdote when it comes to my story so far with it. But I just love the fact that I get to flood my body and my kids' bodies, even right now with him, since he's getting breast milk. And so it's just really exciting for me. And so I'm excited to be able to come in here and share some more of the health properties of cinnamon in particular. So with cinnamon, one of the most important active ingredients in it is called cinnamon, or excuse me, that April, this is like your word, cinnamaldehyde, not cinnamonaldehyde, cinnamaldehyde. And it's what's used in flavorings and fragrances. So when you smell it or you taste cinnamon, that's that ingredient right there. It's also responsible for some of the cinnamon's most possible health benefits. Guys, this is a tongue twister. Holy cow. There's some research that shows cinnamon may be good for people with diabetes. And so a review. Hi. Sure. Hold on a sec. Thank you. We have some friends visiting. So a review of 18 studies has shown and suggested that cinnamon can actually might possibly help lower blood sugar as well. And so that's how you can get that correlation between helping diabetes, because diabetes is an insulin blood sugar imbalance. And so another property of cinnamon is that it can also help lower cholesterol in those people who do have the diabetes. So it does have antioxidants, just like elderberries and the cloves that April was talking about. And so if you've ever heard of oxidative stress in the body, essentially just like if you have an apple and you leave it out after it's cut, it turns brown. That's a process of oxidation. That same thing happens in our bodies. Because we breathe oxygen in order to live, we have these free radicals, these kind of trash products essentially that come out, and they would create that kind of rusting in our body. And that process is called oxidation, and it creates a stress load called oxidative stress and free radicals. And essentially what that does is that contributes to inflammation in the body. And so to be able to combat that, we want to have high levels of antioxidants that we consume. And that's why it's so important to be eating so many different plants in a wide variety, because they produce those antioxidants. So cinnamon is a great component of antioxidants for us. In addition to that, it also has anti-inflammatory properties and is also an antibiotic. So some of those things in those properties that it can do is it can help lower blood sugar, boost your metabolism, which is great because we love that for just more efficient energy processing. But also if anyone's having a weight problem, as we boost our metabolism, oftentimes that helps with that. It helps with clearer skin, great skin. It's one of those things that can help with treating cancer because of the components it has. It can help lower blood pressure, protect your brain. Specifically, when we think about the omegas earlier, this is a great additive to the elderberry because we were talking about needing omegas also. And then like we talked about earlier, cinnamon's great for reducing that inflammatory load in the body, which, if you're aware of it, most disease and illnesses are a result of too much inflammation in the body. And so anything that we can use to help decrease that inflammatory load is going to be positive. So Jessie, I'm going to throw it back to you now and let you talk about honey.
Hey guys, sorry I had to run away. Daniel woke up, he's gonna help me talk. He's excited to be here. You wanna say hi? Hi.
Hi.
I know I didn't get to share my story earlier. I'll share it now though, and then I'll talk about honey if that's okay. So 8 years ago, I actually I reversed my PCOS, like April was saying, with just eating more whole food plant-based. So then I got really, really excited and passionate about nutrition, and I became an athlete with my husband. We did a lot of Spartan races. We were, like I had said, we were super healthy, but I had a lot of aches and pains or we thought we were super healthy, but I had a lot of aches and pains for being in my early 30s. I also wasn't sleeping well. We were those people that were just getting sick all the time. And so when a friend shared Juice Plus with me 5 years ago, it actually just totally made sense to me. I knew like the more I could get into my body, the better that it would function. And that's exactly what happened within a week. Within a week of taking Juice Plus, we noticed all of our inflammation went away and we were no longer sore with workouts. Okay, you can go outside. I was sleeping better. My hair and nails were growing like crazy. My skin was glowing. And then okay, let's go outside. And then it was a year into taking Juice Plus. I was like, wait a minute, we haven't been sick in a year. We weren't sick for a whole year, you guys, and that was a year before COVID. And so we were super thankful for the person that shared this gift with us. And it's kind of the reason why we have to share this, right? We do all of these events. We teach elderberry, we teach sourdough, fermented foods, fire cider, but really the common theme here is the Juice Plus. It's where we all learned how to do all of these things. So this is why we get on here and we pay it forward. And of course we have to share Juice Plus because it's the reason, it's the common theme. It's how we all know each other. It's why we're all here. So I also used it as my soul prenatal with Daniel 3 years ago. And I love that you're feeling so good, Natalie. It was the best decision we ever made. I had this beautiful, healthy pregnancy, totally different than what April was talking about. I had no nausea, no cravings, no heartburn, nothing. I had a lot of energy, felt really good. And then I had this beautiful, you saw him, a healthy baby boy who is just so healthy. He's never been on any antibiotics, no over-the-counter medications, nothing. He's been just this beautiful image of health, not a picky eater, loves to eat with us. Anywhere we go, like he doesn't eat off of the kids' menu. He eats what we eat, and people are always asking us what our secret is. So we have to share it. And then, well, I could go into the longer part of that story too with I was exposed to mold and had Lyme, and that's how I was connected with April. But um, I won't go into that whole longer story. But this company, this community, I'll just say, is such a blessing. I'm just so grateful to it because it really is true. Like God has put the right people in my life to heal and find my path and learn one more simple change. It's like, what's one more thing I can do for my health, So here's elderberry for you, right? Okay. So, honey, I'll talk about honey. Oh, I love that. I love that honey. Did y'all know what honey is? I talk about this in Fire Cider, but it's bee throw up. It's regurgitated bee throw up. Isn't that fascinating? It's like so good for us, though. It's magical, but it can kill certain bacteria. You can add it to your hot tea to soothe your throat. I'm actually about to do that in a minute. And then because of its antimicrobial properties, it doesn't just soothe your throat, it coats it, and it can also kill certain bacteria. It reduces the lifespan of cold. So, and garlic does that as well. I don't know if anybody's ever done garlic and honey. That's really good for colds and flus. But it can reduce the cold by up to 2 days, you guys. It has antimicrobial properties, and that's what really makes it great for treating wounds. Because many types of the bacteria that it can't survive in honey. So it kind of speeds up the healing process and then diminishes the swelling, and then it gives the tissue an opportunity to grow more quickly. Fascinating, right? So local raw honey, that's what we want. And I've heard that about the honeycomb. You probably like if you have the honeycomb in it, I think that I've heard that it's so much better to have the honeycomb in. It has more benefits, but that's what you want to look for is local raw honey. Helps to tame the stomach flu. And because raw honey calms inflammation in the stomach, and that's kind of why it is great for relieving pain in the stomach. And then it also helps with seasonal allergies. He's screaming for me. I don't know what he wants. So I'm going to ignore him for a minute. The same allergens that trigger a reaction in you are actually present in local raw honey. So by ingesting the honey regularly, you are in effect kind of taking shots at the allergen, right? In small and manageable doses. The effect over time is similar to getting a whole series of allergy immune, help me, April, immunology injections.
You got it.
Thank you. Doesn't taking honey sound like a more pleasant thing than getting those shots, right?
Yeah.
So, so why raw and local honey, right? Many of the health benefits of honey are lost when it's filtered and heated into high temperatures, right? So local raw honey has unique flavors that are lost when you industrialize it. So it helps with allergies. You need local raw honey. This is actually what ensures that the honey is has the allergens that we just talked about that's native to your area where you live. And then buying local is better, and not just because it reduces pollution and saves resources. Bees are shipped from elsewhere, pollinating one crop, and how commercial honey is made, right? So this is completely unnatural and hard on the bees. And so let's keep the bees home and pollinating like nature intended, right? So local raw honey is full of all kinds of health ingredients, and industrial methods actually dilute some of that stuff out. So that's kind of the whys behind why you want raw and local honey. Okay. So let's check on our elderberry. Oh, and we can go over the recipe here too, but we'll send it to you if you need it to look at. But it's so simple. It's just this recipe that we're using here calls for 3 cups of water, 3/4 cups of elderberry, dried berries, and I'll show you what mine look like here. I don't know if you guys have yours. I ordered mine on Amazon and it wasn't going to come in time today. It's probably sitting on the porch, honestly. But I went yesterday to get some from a local herb shop. I was very thankful to find one because I was like, I don't even know where to find it. And this is actually a very crunchy area that we live in. So I'm learning that. But anyway, it was 3/4 cups of the elderberry dried berries. It's about like a teaspoon of the cloves. I just kind of eyeballed that and threw a little extra in there, like you were saying, April. And then in a second, I'm going to show you guys. Do you think I should do that now, April? Do you want me to show y'all how to strain it and then add the honey in? Or is that simple?
Well, I'd love to see it.
Okay.
Or how to put it in like a jar.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
when I strained my fire cider, I just did a sieve and then put it straight in the jar and then added the honey. I didn't know if you. I've
So,
never made it. I'm sure it's simple, but I like to see it.
yeah. So give me a second. Let me grab everything. I'm just going to use this very thin mesh, what do you call this? Colander. Let me grab a jar.
And it's nice with the elderberry that it's kind of warm still because then it'll melt the honey in better. I had my fire cider at room temperature and it didn't really incorporate the honey over now it's in the fridge and it's kind of incorporating it better, but I'd imagine it makes the syrup really a lot easier.
So it looks super, I don't know if y'all can see that. It's so hot. You'll see that? Oh, I'm spilling.
Oh no.
Don't do this at home.
Yeah. Don't do this at home.
All right, so I'm just gonna pour it. Y'all will see. Okay, so just like that. And then we'll put that there and I'll clean up my mess. Glad Daniel's outside.
Now, Jesse, did you add cinnamon sticks in, or are you going to add cinnamon powder at any point to this also?
I forgot to mention that. Yes, it was in there. It was in there. It was in the you boil. Did I say that? That's the recipe. So it's the 3 cups of water, the 3/4 cups of the elderberry, the cinnamon and cloves, and you bring it to a boil, and then you let it simmer for 40 to 45 minutes. And then you do what I
And
just,
how much cinnamon is it?
oh, I have that right here. Hold on. It is, yeah, 1 teaspoon of dried cinnamon or the 1 cinnamon stick. Thank you for asking that, Natalie. I forgot about that. Forgot to mention it. So yeah, and then, my goodness, this mess. Don't do what I did, you guys. Okay.
Sammy asked if this is something that we could do in an Instapot or if it needs to be lower pressure so it can simmer. Do you guys have an idea?
Well, your Instapot has the saute setting. So what I would do is you put it on the saute setting until it boils, and then you could put it on slow cook at the higher temp for how many minutes was it? Just 40? No, I
Yeah,
can't.
40 to 45 after you get it to the boil. Yeah. Now it calls for, this is serious business, you guys. 1 cup of raw honey. So that's a lot. That's a lot of honey, but it's
It's full on syrup. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it says allow the liquid to cool and then you drain the liquid. I didn't let it cool. You drain the liquid using a fine mesh strainer or cheesecloth, and then you'll add the honey. Okay. You want to watch me pour?
So maybe how hot is it? Just because, okay, something to note.
Oh yeah, we
If
want it
it's
to
really
cool.
hot, you want it warm and then it mixes the honey in really well, but you don't want to put it in super boiling water because then it kills some of the rawness of it.
Good point, April. I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm kind of just throwing this together. So thank you for stopping me. I'll wait to add this, but just that's the recipe. It's the 1 cup. I ran out of my farmer's market one. I had to order stuff today or the other day, but yeah, it's super simple and we can send you the recipe
I'm
and
excited.
if y'all need it too. So yeah. Does anybody have any questions? Did we cover everything? Are y'all excited to be making your own elderberry and saving money and adding juice
Yes.
plus?
I know that in addition to making it with all the individual ingredients, oftentimes there are places out there that have kits that are already prepared for you. And so I know I have a kit. So if I want to make it, I'm going to use that. But I love the cost effectiveness of individual.
Yeah.
Like this.
Because I think even the kits, they're less expensive than the syrup, but they're still more expensive than if you just bought it individually. And then, you can see the size of the elderberries that you typically can buy dried. So you could make it as even like a Christmas gift or something like that. Make a big batch and use up all those elderberries. Love it. Okay. We have a question. How long does it last? And maybe it says it in the recipe. I would say at least 6 months to a year with honey. They found like honey in Egypt that kept something like it's amazing. It really is one of those preservatives also and
And
the best.
storing this in the fridge to make it last that long, or is it shelf stable?
Good question also. I'm gonna Google it. You've made it a couple of times. Do you normally store it in the fridge, Jesse?
1 second. Um, So this is the one that I have that I get from the farmer's market. It's a little bit of a bigger version. It does say refrigerate
Okay.
um, and shake well. So that's what this one says. But this one I think is like a super one. It has a lot of other things in it. So and just know you can add things to your elderberry too. That's another great thing. Just like fire cider, right? It's like that's fermentation. You can do anything with fermentation. But this has distilled water, elderberries, raw honey, echinacea, rose hips, ginger. I can't even pronounce that. Ceylon, Ceylon,
Oh,
cinnamon.
Ceylon. So
Yeah.
okay, there's a nerdy thing. Ceylon cinnamon is the more medicinal cinnamon. Saigon is actually not cinnamon. It tastes like cinnamon, but apparently it's a different tree. So
Oh.
Ceylon cinnamon is where it's at. I like Saigon cinnamon. It tastes better, but anyway.
So yeah, okay, cool. And probably different benefits. And this one has cloves and turmeric as well. So everything's organic, but yeah, it says this one says shake well, obviously, before using, and it says so serving size, if we want to know serving size, this one says for kids, and I'm sure it's not going to hurt to have more of it. I mean, this is food. God's medicine, right? Same as Juice Plus. And I love that about Juice Plus. Like when I'm feeling like I'm fighting something, I double up. I will take more. Dr. Mitra
Yeah.
Ray eats the stuff by the handfuls. But kids is 1 teaspoon, adults is 1 tablespoon, and then it says like you can increase as needed, of course, 2 to 4 times as needed if
Per
you're like
day.
fighting something kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this said the rest, like a homemade recipe will last 6 months in the fridge. So I guessed right. And then if you jar it, so actually, fun fact, if you put it in at the right temperature, like not too hot for the honey, but still warm, it will jar itself. The lid will seal, and then you could put it in the pantry for a little bit. Like if you're using it for gifts, but then as soon as just tell them to refrigerate it. But I would say it's safe for
Oh,
like
it's like canning. I want to learn to can. We should do an event for that next.
I know, I want to do that too. I actually have a canning expert that would be willing to do it. So
Oh,
Fun idea. Next event, canning.
So yeah, we do these events once a month. We've been doing them how many months now, ladies? Like for y'all forever, but I just joined you
Or
maybe
I
four
think we've
months
done
ago.
4. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So yeah, for second Wednesday of the month, we go live with different food prep ideas. I think they did sauerkraut. Um, we've done fire cider. Now we've done elderberry. We've done salad jar meal prep. So we have so many ideas that we love to share these things. So next time maybe we'll do canning and we talked about broths, making different types of broth, bone, veggie or otherwise. So yeah, stay tuned. Keep us.
Maybe we could do both. I'm like, now both.
So
Maybe
yeah.
we're ahead of myself, but broth and then can it. So then you have canned broth
Ooh, I
per se.
like it.
Because a
Yeah.
lot of people reach for like the boxed broths,
Mhm,
but
mhm.
they're in plastic lined boxes. So that would be fun.
I
Yeah.
like to freeze mine and then I'll take my cubes out and warm them up when I need them. But
Yeah, that's a good
I
idea.
also want to learn the canning process because I know
Yeah.
it's not hard. It's just knowing the steps to it. So you feel confident.
I love it. I'm so
All right.
excited. Thankful for you guys. Seriously, this community is been the best thing to happen to me. So I'm glad we get to share this. So reach out to the person that invited you or shared this recording with you, and we'd love to keep you in the loop for future events, truly. So we'd love to love on you. All right.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Oh, should I hear? Let me see.